My name is Matt,
My name's Landon.
and this is our Redeemer story.
Well, it's 2014. It's time that we did another Redeemer story. And so, why don't you guys do that? Why don't you tell us what's been going on in your lives the past couple years? Why don't you just go ahead and tell us?
Well, the last couple years, God has been trying to show me, that He's in control, and more importantly, that I am not in control. A couple years ago, we were in the military. I was in the Navy, and the Navy for many years has been making cutbacks, and I unfortunately was part of those cutbacks, and that was a big change for us, and hard for me to come to the understanding that there's nothing I could do to stay in the Navy. They were making cutbacks, and I was going to have to leave.
And it was like his dream job.
Right.
And so, I guess a year and a half later, I started looking into other avenues on how to continue working for the military. I believe it's an amazing company, an organization. And I found that I could join the reserves. So I joined the Army Reserve to do the same thing, to be a musician. Well, unfortunately, with that came basic training again. So I had to leave for 10 and a half weeks, and we knew that going into it. We had talked for months about this, and finally decided, we prayed about it a lot, and we finally decided that this is something that we should do. And when we finally decided to go through with it, it was just 5 or 6 weeks before I had to leave. And during those 5 or 6 weeks, I was constantly making preparations for my departure. I wanted to make sure my family was taken care of.
He left no detail unchecked.
I can imagine.
And so, financially, things around the house maybe that I had neglected, that I didn't want her to have to look at anymore when I was gone. And it even hurts to talk about it, because I wasted a lot of time working and doing when I should have been spending time with my family. So I'm at basic training, and I'm getting letters from Lynn, because that's right, we're going old school. No cell phones at basic training. Well, we brought our cell phones.
What are letters?
Yeah, letters. We couldn't use them for 6 weeks, our cell phones, and so we wrote letters. And Lanny wrote me letters saying, we still haven't been paid by the Army. We hadn't been paid it was, I guess, by the time we got paid, it was 6 weeks.
Wow.
Nothing. No money.
And we weren't prepared for that. And I was powerless to do anything. And that's where God wanted me. For the last couple of years, I said, He's been trying to show me that He's in control. Please don't answer or make a comment, but I am hard-headed. And He had to show me in a big way that there's nothing you can do here. And I couldn't make the Army pay me. And Landon had to come up with ways to figure out where the money was going to come from, before the Army paid us.
Yeah, so it was an interesting time for me, because my gift, if you could say so, is faith. So our bank account was on the very low end, and we had a lot of bills coming through in the next week. I couldn't talk to Matt, so I'm trying to figure out what I need to do. I don't work, so I'm trying to figure out resources. Okay, can I start selling books? Start going to the bookstores, trying to sell books, get nothing. Okay, what can I put on Craigslist? Because what I felt God telling me was, don't go to your mom, don't go to your family, because they would very easily give me what I needed. I felt Him telling me, can you trust me that I'll provide for you? And that didn't necessarily mean me just sitting on the couch. I mean, Jenny, LeBon, and I had many conversations that week, and we decided to have a garage sale, but we couldn't have a garage sale before the bills were due. I prayed a lot. The day came where I knew something was going to go through at the end of the day, and I didn't have the money. So I last minute gave in to my mom giving me a couple $100s, but I just couldn't go deposit it. I had it in my hand. About that time, Kelsey was coming over to help me with the kids, and she handed me an envelope. She said, Bethany told me to give this to you. So I opened it up, and it's an offering that the church had taken and given to me, and it was for the exact amount that I had to pay in the next week. And it covered everything up until when I could have the garage sale. So you can imagine how I was feeling, just overwhelmed that, God really did come through in a big way, to the T. So I went to the bank, deposited the money, it's covered for a week. So then Jenny and I start getting our wheels together, going to get this garage sale, which is a lot of work with 3 kids, no husband, trying to go through everything, sort it. We were up all hours of the night. She would come over at 11 o'clock at night, help me do things. So we got the garage sale set up. We made like $900 off of what I thought was just nothing. I was just blown away. And that covered us until we finally got paid 2 weeks later. It was just neat that God put me in a position to do something, to be proactive, kind of in His position. But the other thing that was really big on my mind was it would be honoring to Matt. It wouldn't be me going and getting a loan or doing something that I knew that he wouldn't approve of. He's sitting there not knowing what's going on, but I get to take steps with God to honor Him and see God work in a big way. So He was working in both of our lives at that point, teaching us that He was in control.
And you would think that when she sent me the letter to say, look how God provided, I would be ecstatic, right? And I was, so thankful. But at the same time, my pride started getting into the way, and I thought, I should have prepared for this. I should have taken steps to make sure that my family wasn't in this position. And again, God had to say, listen, this is where I wanted you guys. To show you that you need not worry about it. I'm going to provide for you. And you don't have to work endlessly to make sure everything's in order. Because I'm going to take care of you.
You're at Redeemer, you're heavily involved at Redeemer, children's director, sound aficionado.
Part-time.
Up in here. But why? What's going on at Redeemer that you guys want to be a part of? Why are you here?
We came from a really big church when we moved here. We immediately felt just people truly wanting to be involved in your life and wanting to step in. And my favorite phrase that Andy uses is living in community. Let's live in community together, which is exactly what happened during this time of our life. Because I had Jenny stepping in. Jenny and Jacob helped us along at one point when he was gone. And Jacob said, I'm going to take this role of Matt while he's away. Your wife came over and helped. Bethany helped. Kelsey was there. I mean, the people that upheld us while he was gone, and really since we've been here in Norman, has been the church, has been Redeemer.
Thanks for sharing your story, guys. I appreciate it.